It's a great challenge to go play an Army team at West Point. I'm really looking forward to it. I think our players are as well. I think for a number of reasons, it's just another chance for us to go out as a team and compete together, play a game together. I think they still have a little sour taste in their mouth from last year when they got clobbered pretty good by Army, and I think it just gives us a chance to go out and try to max out and play our best again. And that's what these guys, to me, have been all about every week. Is it doesn't necessarily matter who the opponent has been, where we've played. It's just they've gone out and just tried to get better. And that's what we should be doing. And that was their focus today. That was their mindset. And I appreciate that about these guys. It's just it's a little rare when you can keep. Well, shoot, I shouldn't even use the word keep. When you see a team stay as focused as they have stayed over this amount of time, it's a real credit to the players.
Well, why do you think they're like that? Like, why do you think they've been able to stay focused?
Because I think it goes back to what I've said so many times about just their character. They're not entitled. They want to work for everything, and they're just a hunger. And it's the way they were brought up. It's a credit to their families and the people they've surrounded themselves. And I think it's just the way they're built, their character. And, when you go out and you recruit, you look for certain characteristics. And we talk about football character and we talk about just personal character. You want guys that love football, just can't live without football. But you also want people that are high character individuals, that are committed to something, that don't look for excuses, that are dependable and accountable. And, we've got a team of those types of men.
Army's rushing for 300 yards a game. How much of a challenge is that?
So it's a huge challenge. They're going to get their yards rushing. It's Army, and they are so efficient and so detailed, and they do such an amazing job with what they do well. And they're the epitome of putting their players in the positions to make plays and do what they do best, and they just do it. I mean, it's unparalleled. So it's a big challenge. One big challenge for us is going to be to try to keep them out of the end zone and try to not let them hog the ball all game. And because they run the ball so well, and because they use up clock, we have to maximize possessions on offense. We can't have 3 and outs and send them right back on the field. We have to be able to maintain possessions and do the best we can to score points.
How does a team rush for 300 a game? You hear all the time, I'll just put 8 men in the box and force them to throw the ball. It sounds like that doesn't happen with you.
Well, they're committed to running the football. They're not they are the epitome of a running football team, and they do throw it. And they hit big ones when they throw it. And so you have to be very, very disciplined on the back end. And you can't get sucked up, and you can't get lazy, and you can't get bored because you're not getting challenged deep, because once you do, they hit the big ones on you. But the reason they're able to run for so many yards is because they understand who they are and what they want to do, and they do it better than you can defend it. And, you could put 8, 9, 10, 11 in the box, and they've got the same amount of players, and their quarterback's their leading rusher. So when you have a quarterback that can run, it's a lot different than a quarterback that's not a running threat. You can play with a free safety. You need to have more defenders than they have blockers. And the only way you can do that is to bring safeties out of the middle, out of coverage, and then you're exposed deep. So they've got two 260-pound running backs. They're going to get yards. Their quarterback is a really good runner. They're A-backs or slot backs or they're elusive, they're quick, they're fast. But more than anything, I think it's their personnel, their commitment to what they do, the way they do it, the repetition, and they're Army. I mean, they're tough, right? They're disciplined. I mean, this is a different group. I mean, these are the kind of men you want defending your country, right? So playing them in football is a heck of a challenge. They don't give up, they don't give in, they don't quit, they don't back down, they don't do any of that stuff. They just keep coming. I love it.
Coach, how's the offensive line kind of responded after they had a couple games with a lot of penalties?
I thought they responded well, and I figured that they would. I thought the one game with the penalties was an anomaly, and then came back and we weren't great the next week. and I think it really hit home with them. They're a very prideful group, and they locked in again, and they've responded well.
What personnel are you using to simulate Army's offense in practice this week?
Like, what people?
What personnel, yeah, like which players is the running quarterback, which players simulating that 260-pounder?
Just our normal players. We have service team players, and we just, we're down a little bit in numbers, as everyone knows. Just a lot of guys beat up. So, we're just using our normal offensive line, our normal quarterbacks, our normal running backs, our normal receivers, and they're doing a really good job. It's not an easy offense to simulate and run fast. And, we've made our defensive players fully aware that, the fastest play we see this week in practice will be about 60, maybe 50, 60% of the speed of the game on Saturday. And so we've got to be prepared for that. And it's not an easy thing to prepare for during the week in terms of the speed, and not just the speed, but the tenacity with which they block and play and attack. But I'll tell you what, today our service team did a tremendous job, and I think they'll do even better tomorrow.
Did you see this coming for your defense coming into the season, that they've been able to create so many turnovers? Was that something that obviously you hoped it would happen, but did you see that in them coming into the season?
No, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I think it was something we hoped would happen. This defense went through a major transition when Spanos left, and we changed a lot. And so, there was a learning curve, and it's a mindset. And someone asked me the other day about like Jackson and being in the right place in the right time, and I made the comment about effort puts you in the right place at the right time. And I think what you're seeing out of our defense is they're playing with a high degree of effort. When you play with a high degree of effort, you get to the right place at the right time, or you have a chance to make those plays when the other team makes a mistake. And I think that's what it is more than anything. It's not luck. It's not just happenstance. It's effort, and effort wins.
There's an offensive line. It feels like they've opened holes no matter who's running the ball. How important have they been just also protecting Zion as a freshman?
It's that old cliche, right? You win in the trenches, and it's a cliche because it's true, and it's critical. I think you go as a football team as your offensive line goes, and our offensive line has been very good all year, and not perfect, but very, very, very good. And like I said, they have a lot of pride in what they do. They're very coachable. They learn quickly. They don't make a lot of mistakes. When they do, they get them corrected. They take pride in protecting Zion, the quarterback. They don't want our running backs to get hit. And I think that they really understand our scheme. And they're very well coached, and they take that coaching and they apply it. And without a good offensive line, it's hard to win football games.
What makes Noel a good offensive lineman?
Passionate, athletic, limber, very, very smart. He really cares. He plays every down like it's the last down. He lives and dies in those 6 seconds. And he doesn't say a lot, but you feel his energy all the time. He takes it very seriously.
Saw Keelan coming through the 2-point conversion. Does he look like Keelan? Does he look like he's fully ready to go?
No, not yet. Yeah, we knew he was only going to have to run 3 or 4 yards, and there was no cut involved, so we were able to put him in there for that. But no, he's getting better, but he's not 100%. He likes to act like he is. He wants to try to convince himself that he is, which I appreciate, but he's not ready yet.
That's a play you guys practice, 2-point conversion, since training camp. It seems, because I remember Roberson was throwing that ball to Keelan.
Yeah.
I think Zion tried that earlier this year. It didn't work out. Just see his development and being able to handle those types of plays.
Yeah, it takes timing. It takes repetition. You have to keep doing it over and over again. Then you have to get the right look on defense. We got the right look. And then I think it was, probably Zion seeing Keelan there maybe gave him just a little shot of confidence. They'd worked it during practice. He knew that Keelan would catch the ball if it was in his catch radius, and so he's just able to pull the trigger. And it was a big play for us, obviously, a big play.
Was it a real boost for Zion and the rest of the offense, especially to see Keelan back out there, you know, after he fought so hard to get back?
I think they were excited he got the ball in the end zone. It was fun, and everyone knew that he wasn't prepared to play a whole game, but to go in and just get a 2-pointer on your only play, I think it made everyone kind of jacked up for him. Yeah, I think it gave everyone a boost. I think it would give him a real boost if he was out there, playing a little bit more. But that was certainly a boost.
What do you attribute your success in the red zone to? You've been real, 22, 29.
On defense, or
No, your success on offense,
this last week?
or just overall?
Well, we haven't had a lot of success in the red zone. Not red zone. I mean, red zone touchdowns.
Well, just scoring.
Well, scoring, see, that's different. So we really evaluate more red zone touchdown percentage than scoring because, now, don't get me wrong, we'll take field goals, right? We want points, but the real measure of your red zone success is your red zone touchdown percentage, and that has not been real good. It was much better this week on offense. It wasn't very good on defense. It's working it. We've worked hard on it. It's Nick expanding the playbook a little bit for these guys. It's these players becoming more efficient, running the plays that we play, having a better understanding of it. And it's something we have to just continue to put emphasis on. And if we do that, then we'll become more efficient in the red zone in terms of scoring. Now, I'm sorry, in terms of touchdowns. It's nice to have Noel, right, when you get down there and it is 4th down, and have the ability to put a kicker out there that that can put it through the uprights. So we're always looking for the touchdowns. We don't want to settle for the field goals, but if we have to, if we must, we know we have a kicker that can put it through.
Speaking of the offense, obviously putting up 36 points is not something you've often seen. How confident are you that the offense can continue to take a step forward, not just Saturday, but perhaps?
I mean, I was impressed. They didn't put up 36, but I was impressed. I was impressed at the end of the game, that we made the plays we needed to make. Casey's catch, Victor's run. Those were huge plays for us.
But you had two game-winning drives in some pretty high-pressure situations against Fresno and then again last week. How promising is that moving forward, especially the Zion to Kevin's players?
I think it's really big. Anytime you get in a pressure situation like that and you deliver, it makes you believe you can do it again. But you still have to keep working at it, and we have to keep putting them in high-pressure situations in practice so they can deliver. But I think every time that you do that, you build on it, right? You just, hey, we've done this before. We can do it again. We know how to do it. Not just we can, but we know exactly what it's going to take for us to get this done. And those are big things. Just like, the reverse, if you're struggling there, there's always that little seed of doubt. And so I think I think hopefully, that seed of doubt in the red zone has kind of, moved out of the way, and any doubt that we can't get it done at the end of the game has moved out of the way, and those are real positives as we move forward.